Strings are an essential data type in Python that are used in nearly every application, and in this tutorial we learn about the most essential built-in string methods. So after watching this video you will be equipped with all the knowledge you need to work with strings easily and modify them without any problems. So let's get started. Number one is slicing. So with slicing we can use this syntax, and this means we access a substring. So now if we run this we still get the whole string, but now we can put in an optional start and also an optional stop index. So now if we run this, this means we get only the substring from position 3 to position 7 and 8 is excluded. Number two is the strip method. So by default, this will remove all leading and trailing white space characters. So for example, spaces, tabs, and new line characters. So if we run this, we simply get hello without the spaces in the beginning and the end. By default, strip removes all leading and trailing whitespace characters, but we can also put in a character here, and now it removes all leading and trailing given characters. So now if we run it, then it removes the leading and trailing hashes. But be careful here, because sometimes we forget that this removes only leading and trailing found matches. So if we run this, then it still has the whitespace characters in the beginning, for example this new line and the tab, and this is because the very first leading sign is not a found match for this. So if we put it like this, then we have a leading white space, a leading new line character again. So now if we run this, then this got removed. We can also pass in multiple characters to the strip method, but now it will not interpret this as one single string, but instead it will look for all the occurrences of all the single given characters. For example, here it will remove all the C's, M's, O's, W's, and all dots. So for this string, it removes all the W's and the dot in the beginning, and then also this dot and the C, O, and the M. So if we run this, we only get example as a string back. Number 3 and 4 are lstrip and rstrip. So if we only want to remove white spaces on one side, then we could, for example, use lstrip. This means we remove only the leading white space, so we can see we still have the trailing white space in our output. Or if we use rstrip, then we remove only the trailing whitespace characters. So now we see we still have the spaces in the beginning. Number 5 and 6 are removeprefix and removesuffix. So like I said, if we put in multiple characters to a strip function, then it removes all the single given characters. So in this example, it removes also this T, this H, and this R. So if we run this, then we get only this part back. And if we are really looking to only remove this particular substring in the beginning, then we can use removeprefix. So if we run this, then we only get this part back. And similar, we can use removesuffix. So this will remove this part if it finds it in the end. So if we run this, then we only get hello back. Number 7 is the replace method. So this will replace all the occurrences of this given string with this given string. So in this case, it replaces all the spaces with a dash. So our string will look like this. And this is also sometimes used to remove elements. So if we put in an empty string here, then this will remove all the spaces. Number 8 is re.sub. So this is a regular expression method, and this is useful when we want to replace a more complex pattern with a substring. For example, in this string, we want to replace all the spaces with a dash, but in this part, we only want to use one dash. So if we use the replace method like before, then it will replace all the spaces with a dash. So this means we get 4 dashes here. So in order to only get one, we need to use a regular expression, and with this we can use re.sub and then use the pattern. So this will remove multiple whitespace characters with a dash, and if we assign this back to a string and run this, then our string looks like this. Number 9 is the split function. This will return a list of the words in the string. So in this case, if we run this, we get a list of all the single words, and by default it uses a space as a delimiter. So for example, we could also specify a comma here, and then it would be looking for a comma as a separator. And we can also use a max split argument. So if we say max split equals 1, then it will only do one maximum split. So this means we get 2 strings back in our list. Number 10 is rsplit. So this works the same as before, but it starts splitting at the right side. So if we use max split here as well and run this, then it starts looking for the first split here, and then we have this as one string and this as one string in our list. So if we run this, then this is our output. Number 11 is the .join method. So this is basically for the reversed way. If we first have a list of strings and want to put this back into one single string, then we can use .join with this list of strings, and it uses this string in between. So if we run this, then it puts a dash in between all the different items. So here, if we use a space, then we get this as a normal sentence. Then we have upper, lower, and capitalize. So this will put all the characters into uppercase, all the characters into lowercase, and capitalize means that only the first character is capitalized and the rest is lowercase. So if we run this, then this is our output. 15 and 16 are islower and isupper. So islower returns true if all characters are lowercase characters and false otherwise. And the other way around for the isupper method. So if we run this, so this will return true for islower, and this will return true for isupper. Then we have isalpha, isnumeric, and isalnum. So isalpha returns true if all characters in the string are alphabetic. Isnumeric returns true if all characters in the string are numeric, and isalnum returns true if we have either alphabetic or numeric characters. So in this case, isalpha and isalnum returns true. And if we only use numbers, then isnumeric and isalnum returns true. If we have both alphabetic and numeric numbers, then only isalnum returns true. And for example, if we have another character non-alphabetic, then none of those functions returns true. Number 20 is the count function. So this returns the number of non-overlapping occurrences of this substring in this string. So here it counts all the O's. So if we run this, it returns 2. If it does not find this substring, for example this, then it returns 0. Number 21 is the find function. So this will return the first lowest index in the string where it finds this substring. So this will return the first index of this A. So if we run this, then the index is 1. And for example, if we use the substring, then we get this string back. Then, for example, if it does not find this string, then it returns -1, so be careful here. And we can also use an optional start position, so then it should start searching at this position. So in this case, it starts looking at this position, and then the next occurrence is at index 10. So now if we use this substring, then we only get this part. 22 is rfind. So this is the same as before, but it starts searching from the right side. So in this case, it returns the first occurrence from this side. So in this case, it's also 10, and then we get this substring. 23 and 24 are startswith and endswith. So startswith returns true if this string starts with this prefix, and endswith returns true if this string ends with this suffix. So if we run this, then both these methods return true. Number 25 is the partition function. This will split the string at the first occurrence of this given string, and this will return a tuple with 3 elements where the given string is in the middle, and then we have the beginning of the string as first item and the ending of the string as last item. And if it does not find the given string, then the whole string is the first item and the other 2 items are 2 empty strings. Then we have center, ljust, and rjust, and they come in handy when we want to format our string in a certain way. So center will put this string in another string of the given length, and it uses this as the fill character. So if we run this, then we have a centered string of the length 30, and on both sides we have the fill character. Then if we use ljust, then this will be the same, but our string will be left justified. So there on the left side, and then we have all the fill characters until we reach width n. And the same with rjust, but here our string will be right justified. Number 29 are f strings. So this is not really a string method, but this is a great new way since Python 3.6 to format a string. And the syntax is very easy. We use an f and then our string, and inside the string we can use curly braces, and inside the curly braces we can use an expression. For example, here we can simply put in a variable, or we can also use a mathematical expression that will then be evaluated. So now if we run this, we get this string back. And yeah, I think this is a very clear, easy, concise, and more readable way to format your strings, and it's also faster than other formatting methods. Number 30 is the swapcase method. So this will swap all the cases. So for a uppercase, it will then return a lowercase character, and then vice versa. So if we run this, then this will be our result. And number 31, zfill. So this will return a string of the given length, and it uses zeros to fill the string from the left side. So if we run this, then this will be our string. And also if we have a leading plus or minus sign, then this will still be the first sign, and only afterwards it uses zeros to fill the string. And this is also very useful if we have a number string and want to format this in a certain way. All right, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and if so, then please hit the like button and consider subscribing to the channel, and then I hope to see you next time. Bye.